Papua New Guinea and Australia have taken a big step. PNG's cabinet has officially approved a defense treaty with Australia, called the PNG Treaty. Here is what the treaty says, what effects it might have, what could happen next, and why some believe China, Beijing, might be planning something behind the scenes. What the treaty says. Mutual defense, PNG and Australia agree to protect each other if either country is attacked. PNG citizens in Australian Defence Force, ADF. Up to 10,000 Papua New Guineans may serve in the Australian Defence Force under dual arrangements. Modernization and interoperability. The treaty aims to build up PNG's defence capacity, better equipment, joint training, better coordination with Australia. Sovereignty clauses. The treaty text includes provisions that PNG can continue its relations with other countries. It says partnerships with third parties, other nations, should not be undermined by this treaty. Legal and constitutional clearances. The PNG government claims that the treaty has been legally reviewed, and it does not need changes to laws to enter into force. What could happen next? Ratification by parliaments. Although cabinet has approved it, the treaty still needs to be ratified, approved, by PNG's parliament. That means the lawmakers must agree. Legal challenges. Because there are concerns about constitutionality, some groups or individuals might challenge the treaty in court. If parts of the treaty are seen to conflict with the Constitution, they could be invalidated or force changes. Implementation details. Questions remain. How will PNG citizens serving in the ADF actually work? Under what conditions? Who pays for what equipment? What command lines will be used in joint operations? These details will need negotiation and transparency. Public debate and political backlash. Some political leaders and retired military officers have already warned about sovereignty risks and that this treaty could tie PNG too tightly to Australia's military strategy. If people feel excluded from discussion, protests or political opposition may grow. Potential impacts: good, bad, and hidden. Good/positive. Stronger defense. PNG has long had weak capacity for dealing with threats at sea, border security, illegal fishing, trafficking, etc. Partnership with Australia could help strengthen those capabilities. Jobs and training. PNG citizens may have new opportunities, training, better resource defense forces, possibly better pay, possibly even pathways in Australia. Regional stability. In a time when many nations in the Pacific are uneasy about increasing superpower competition, having clearer alliances may make PNG feel more secure. Risks/negative. Loss of independence. Some worry that by aligning more closely with Australia, PNG might lose the ability to freely choose allies or act independently, especially if Australia becomes the dominant partner. Legal/constitutional issues. If the treaty is seen as conflicting with PNG's constitution, for example, about foreign forces operating in PNG or integration of command, that could lead to legal challenges. Foreign policy constraints. PNG has historically said it is friend to all, enemy to none. But this treaty risks pushing PNG into choosing sides, particularly in tensions involving China. PNG's relationship with China could be damaged or complicated. Domestic unrest. If citizens feel their government did not properly consult them, or if things like command integration happen without transparency, people may become upset and push back. Why people think Beijing might have a bigger plan. While China has publicly warned about sovereignty and exclusivity, some analysts think China might have a more subtle strategy. Influence via trade and aid. China is a major economic partner of PNG. If PNG tilts toward Australia in defense, China might compensate by boosting its offers in trade, infrastructure, or aid to keep influence. Strategic watch. Beijing likely watches closely which nations in the Pacific sign such treaties. The PNG Treaty may intensify China's concern that it is losing strategic ground in the region. Diplomatic pressure. China has already asked PNG to ensure the new treaty does not exclude China or other partners, and not to undermine PNG's right to cooperate with third parties. If PNG fails to satisfy these conditions, China might respond with diplomatic or economic pressure. What this means for the people of PNG. As this treaty moves forward, People will want clear information. How will this affect daily life? Will it bring new jobs, better infrastructure, improved security? There is a need for transparency. Show how command will work, what rights PNG citizens in ADF will have, whether there are any limits on partnerships with China or others. Citizens and civil society may have to watch closely and perhaps demand accountability, in parliament, in courts, in public discussion. The Papua Treaty is a major milestone for PNG. On one hand, it could bring real benefits, stronger defense, more training, stronger relationship with Australia. On the other hand, the risks are serious: loss of independence, constitutional problems, diplomatic consequences, and possible public anger. We don't yet know if Beijing has a bigger plan beyond its warnings, but its reaction shows that this treaty is more than just a bilateral agreement. It is part of a larger game of influence in the Pacific. PNG must protect its interests, ensure its sovereignty, and make sure its people are part of the process, not left behind. Let us know your though below in the comment, and don't forget to subscribe and stay updates for more content.